Did you know that you can take a single 3-note chord that you already know and play it in a bunch of different ways? I'm using the same 3 notes, but I'm just rearranging them to get unique sounds all over the neck. What the hell is this? Hello, my name is Spencer Askin, and I've been a full-time professional guitarist for over 15 years, and today we're gonna learn about chord inversions. In this video, we're gonna learn what inversions are, how to construct them on the guitar, and if you're a Patreon member, you're also gonna get some Hendrix-style double stop licks using inversions that you can use in songs right away, and we're also gonna cover inversions and how to connect them up and down the guitar neck. Let's get started. A chord inversion is when you play the notes of a chord, but the root of that chord is not the lowest note. It's still the same chord, same notes, same harmony, but it's arranged in a different order. And that different order now creates a different sound. You've probably heard chord progressions like this. In this example, the bass line moves, and that motion is created using chord inversions. If we weren't using inversions, it would sound like this. All that matters musically is which note of the chord is in the bass. That's the key to identifying an inversion. Root versus bass note. So let's take a C major chord. The notes are C, our root, E, our third, and G, our fifth. If C is our lowest note in our chord, that's root position, not an inversion. If G is the lowest note, then that's second inversion. Or you could play it here. And if E is the lowest note, then that's first inversion. So even if you play C, E, G, C across the neck, if C is your lowest note, that's not an inversion. If it were 7th chord, you could have a third inversion, which means the 7th is in the bass. We're in C, so we'll do a C major 7, which means we would have a B in the bass, which could sound like this. So here's our C chord. Could deal with this. So a key detail to remember, if the bass note is not one of the chord tones, one of the diatonic chord tones, then it is not an inversion. That means it's a slash chord. Let's explore inversions using open chords. We're gonna take C major. Our notes we already know are C, E, and G. So root position, we have C in the bass. That's this. Sounds like this. C, E, G. First inversion, we're gonna put an E in the bass, so our E is this third right here. But you may remember that our lowest note on the guitar is an E, so you could also just do that. And then our second inversion would be a G in the bass, E, F, F sharp, G. And you see people play that a lot, a C chord like this. This is technically a second inversion C because we have a G underneath. Now, this chord shows up a lot on the guitar. You see people play it like this on acoustic guitar a lot. It sounds really good. G major, our notes are G, B, and D. This is of course our root position G. We've got G in the bass. Our first inversion G, we're gonna get rid of that. Now we have B in the bass. Second inversion, now we want the 5th in the bass, which is D. So that means we just have to have D as our lowest note. Okay, moving on, E major. Our notes are E, G sharp, B. So finding the inversions for this one is a little bit trickier because of where our third lives on the fretboard, but you can totally do it. So here's our root position, of course. Then we just need to find our G sharp, E, F sharp, G, G sharp. That's our first inversion. And then second inversion, just don't play the lowest string. Same idea every time. Everything you learned with open chords applies perfectly to the bar chords. This is where inversions start to get really fun because everything is movable and modular, just like the guitar always is when we're not dealing with open strings. So if we take a C major bar chord, root position, and we move this to our first inversion voicing where E is in the bass, it would look just like this. We're gonna keep this little 3-note block. But now we have our first inversion because we got E in the bass. Now we're gonna move it to a voicing where G is in the bass. This is where you can get those like Jimi Hendrix style double stop. John Mayer, any guy playing a Strat is probably doing this. I don't play a Strat, so you can tell I don't do this very often. So you can slide through multiple inversions to create melodic motion inside your chords. You're just playing one chord, but it sounds like so much more because now you're covering space, real estate on the neck here. And that is more interesting than just, sitting down and taking a dump on fret 1. Inversions let you create moving bass lines, they let you smoothly connect chords, they let you add sophistication without actually changing the harmony. You don't have to know any like crazy chords or a ton of music theory, you just have to know the notes of your triad. And really on guitar, you just have to know these shapes, and it lets you create expressive licks around chord shapes. That's it for our lesson today, but if you're a part of our Patreon, stick around as we go through some more exercises and practice licks to get your chord inversions top tier. All right, and that's it for our lesson on inversions today. If you liked this video or it helped you in any way, please let me know in the comments below. As always, let me know what you're working on and what you'd like some help with. I'm always taking suggestions for my next videos. If you're really starting to take an interest in this guitar thing and you want to support a little bit of what I do here, please check out the Patreon. I would love to see you there. Thank you and goodbye.